Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 551 based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin silently pondered and sat not far away from the woman. Her words echoed in his heart. He had not heard of this before. After all, he had not fused with the third soul. Looking around, this place was covered in endless ice, similar to what the woman had said. A moment later, just as Wang Lin was about to speak, his expression suddenly changed and he looked into the distance. He saw bursts of fuzzy ripples echo. This was caused by someone else entering. The woman also noticed the ripple and quickly said, "You're the first person to enter this place, so you are the master here. If you wish, this place will become a formation that stops everyone else from moving forward. However, if the person who rushes in is too powerful, it can't hold them off for long." After she finished speaking, she looked at Wang Lin. After she saw Wang Lin nod, she waved her hand. Crackling sounds echoed and ice appeared out of nowhere. It began to spread with this place as the center. A thunderous rumble swept across the world. Wang Lin saw that the entire world was quickly frozen. This ice had no cracks, making it seem as if this entire world had turned into a piece of ice. As cold energy spread everywhere, the world was dim. The several people that had just entered were sealed by the ice that had suddenly appeared. They remained motionless. The continent Wang Lin and the woman were on was one of few places in this world without ice. The ice can't last for long. There is someone with a high cultivation level and master's aura coming in, the ancient godwoman said softly as she looked at Wang Lin. She pointed to between her eyebrows with her right hand. A vortex appeared between her eyebrows and a drop of blood condensed on her fingertip. After forming this drop of blood, the woman immediately felt weak. "Absorb this drop of Yumo's origin soul blood and your injuries can recover." After she spoke, she flicked the drop of blood toward Wang Lin. It stopped 7 inches away from him and gave off a dazzling red glow. Wang Lin looked at the drop of blood. It gave off Yumo's familiar aura. This drop should be the last of Yumo's heart blood. Once Wang Lin absorbed it, his inheritance would be more complete. However, he didn't immediately take the drop of blood but frowned at the now weakened female ancient god. Wang Lin slowly asked, "Why are you helping me?" "Because you're the Mars," the female ancient god smiled but was interrupted by Wang Lin. Wang Lin stared at the woman and asked once more, "Why?" The female ancient god pondered a bit and reminiscence filled her eyes. After a moment, she spoke with a melancholy voice. "I'm formed by Yumo's heart blood by Master and now I guard the Dawnling sect for Master. I was given the position of God Elder. However, too much time has passed. The demon and devil elders have died in their frozen sleep. The rest of the people will slowly die if Master's life force doesn't nourish them. Since you can enter from the core of the cave with Master's soul, you must have broken into the 5-flower 8 doors. You want to find the real door to leave this cave world. If you open the door, I hope you can help me leave this place." The woman bowed as she spoke to Wang Lin. Her long, black hair scattered like a waterfall as she bowed. It was very beautiful. Wang Lin silently pondered for a bit and then slowly nodded. "I can help you." Wang Lin's right hand grabbed the drop of blood. In truth, while talking to the woman, he was rapidly healing. At the same time, he was using a portion of his divine sense to example the drop of blood. Only after he was certain that there was no problem did he agree. Holding the blood, Wang Lin suddenly pressed it between his eyebrows. When the drop of blood entered his forehead, his mind rumbled. However, he kept a portion of his divine sense to observe his surroundings. If the woman did anything, he would kill her. Yumo's origin soul blood entered his body and fused with him. This was indeed Yumo's blood. It didn't cause any rejection in Wang Lin's body and rapidly fused with him. As Yumo's powerful life force entered his body, popping sounds echoed inside Wang Lin. His ancient god, ancient demon, and ancient devil stars appeared. They rotated rapidly to absorb the power from the blood. In the distance, Xian Luo smiled as he looked at this scene. His gaze went past Wang Lin into the ice in the distance. This place is a great fortune for him. Forget it, I'll help him get enough time. Xian Luo raised his right hand and pointed at the ice. A power that only belonged to him silently entered the ice. The ice became tens of thousands of times stronger than before. I'll give you as long as you want. Xian Luo smiled and sat down. This time, he wasn't looking at Wang Lin but the female ancient god. No matter what the origin, you are still from my ancient Dao clan in the end. My ancient Dao clan doesn't have many women, and this woman is worth cultivating. She can become my only disciple's maid. It's a good match. Xian Luo rubbed his chin and such a thought appeared in his mind. The drop of Yimo's blood rapidly spread through Wang Lin. Wang Lin's heart trembled as popping sound echoed inside him, and his body expanded to over 1,000 feet. The ancient Dao power inside the blood was like a great nourishment for Wang Lin. This was especially good since he was injured. It slowly filled Wang Lin's body, making it even more powerful. After his bones fused with the blood, his body was even stronger and more resilient. It was even more difficult to break than before. His flesh and blood gave off an even more powerful physical force as he fused with the blood. An even more terrifying aura spread out from his body. When the female ancient god felt this, her eyes narrowed. Wang Lin's expression was calm, but monstrous waves were set off in his heart. Now that Wang Lin had all of Yimo's heart blood, that meant Yimo's origin soul was now complete, and it existed inside Wang Lin's body. As Wang Lin cultivated, Yimo's shadow slowly appeared behind him. This shadow was similar to the one that appeared behind Wang Lin when he battled, but its purpose was very different. The shadow that appeared when Wang Lin battled was due to him having an incomplete inheritance. He was unable to keep the inheritance hidden, so a trace of it would slip through to create the shadow. However, the shadow around him now wasn't formed by his cultivation but by Wang Lin's mind. To be more precise, this was Yimo's origin soul. Yimo's origin soul had become complete when all the heart blood had gathered. His shadow gradually solidified like a real person and floated behind Wang Lin. It was very strange. At the same time, Yimo's aura came from his origin soul. This aura was heaven-shaking, but any member of the three ancient clans that was born from his bloodline would feel like they were facing their ancestor when they felt this aura. The pressure coming from the soul and spirit was enough to make any of the three clans formed by Yimo's blood tremble and worship. The female ancient god was still an ancient god after giving Yimo's heart blood. That meant that she still had some of Yimo's ordinary blood in her body. Under this pressure, the female ancient god turned pale. She slowly knelt down on the ground and remained motionless. Xian Luo looked at Yimo's soul behind Wang Lin with a hint of pity and sighed. That child, Yimo, was pretty talented to scatter his blood into this cave world to form the three clans. Luckily, Wang Lin appeared, so Yimo has done good. It's just that if you want to take Wang Lin's body, it's impossible. Xian Luo closed his eyes. If he hadn't come for Wang Lin and instead had encountered this, he would have helped Yimo. However, now he had already made his choice. Yimo had scattered his blood along with some of his origin soul blood. Once his origin soul blood had been gathered, his origin soul would reform and he could possess the body. Since the body would belong to one of his descendants, there would be no chance of failure. However, Wang Lin was different. He had obtained the recognition of the ancient ancestor and the ancient ancestor's soul blood. As a result, he was in existence even more noble than Yimo, so Yimo couldn't succeed. At this moment, Yimo's origin soul turned into 7 strands of smoke and entered Wang Lin's body through his orifices. The moment Yimo entered, Wang Lin opened his eyes, but his expression was calm. He had noticed this during the previous integration and was aware of what was happening, but he knew Yimo could not possess him. At this moment, Yimo's origin soul entered Wang Lin's body. After 3 hours, Wang Lin let out a deep breath. His body gradually shrank under a ghostly light until he was the size of an ordinary person. His eyes were as deep as the stars. Yimo's origin soul had dissipated inside Wang Lin's body. Yimo could not resist the ancient ancestor's soul blood and had slowly become part of Wang Lin's ancient Dao inheritance. Wang Lin's injuries had completely recovered. This drop of blood and Yimo's origin soul had a great effect. Otherwise, Wang Lin would have needed several months or longer to slowly recover. At this moment, Wang Lin's ancient Dao inheritance was mostly complete. The only things left were the left eye and the heart buried in the ancient tomb. There was also the left arm. Xian Luo exclaimed. At that moment, Wang Lin's gaze crossed with his as if Wang Lin was looking at him. This surprised Xian Luo. However, soon, Wang Lin's gaze swept by as if it was just a random coincidence. Wang Lin's breathing was calm. Right now, not only had his injuries recovered, but he felt like he held the power of the world. It was as if he could destroy this world with just one punch. His ancient Dao power made Wang Lin feel very comfortable. This was the real inheritance. It was obvious that not every inheritance would be extremely painful. The ancient Dao power echoed through his body. It moved through every inch of his blood and flesh, making Wang Lin feel like he controlled the world. His origin soul seemed to have obtained enough nourishment from his body. His body gave off a gentle light as if he was ready to use a spell at any moment. The effect of one drop of blood would not produce this effect, but if this drop allowed him to reach a level of completion, then it was completely different. Wang Lin felt the difference in his body. Although his 3 ancient clan powers were still at 8 stars, they were even stronger, and the light from the stars was even more intense. Wang Lin vaguely felt a call from deep within this frozen world. This call was the same as when he felt Yimo's right arm. Wang Lin hadn't noticed anything before he had absorbed the last drop of blood. As Wang Lin calmed his ancient Dao power so that none of it would leak out, the female ancient god slowly sat up. She looked at Wang Lin with awe in her eyes. At that moment, Wang Lin was like the ancestor of the 3 ancient clans, which made her heart tremble. Many thanks. If I can find the real door, I'll definitely help you leave this place. Wang Lin got up and clasped his hands at the woman. The female ancient god nodded and didn't speak. What is sealed there? Wang Lin pointed to where he was feeling something calling him. That is the back mountain of the Dongling sect, and where the Dongling pool is. However, it was only created from Master's memory, so it doesn't have any power. The female ancient god looked up with confusion in her eyes. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he looked over. After pondering a bit, he flew into the air. I'm going to check that place. I thank you for today. I clearly separate my grudges and thanks. Our grievance from before is over, and I still owe you. I'll help you leave this place. Wang Lin clasped his hands at the female ancient god and flew toward the ice that was calling him. The ice was surrounded by cold energy, but this didn't stop Wang Lin. The ice only had an effect on other people, and for Wang Lin, it was like flat ground. As Wang Lin moved through the ice, even he felt cold. However, as long as he cycled a bit of his cultivation, this sense of coldness would dissipate. The ice was like a mirror, it vaguely reflected his figure as he moved, making it seem like a vague false shadow was following him. Wang Lin only took a glance and moved forward like nothing had happened. This place was very big, but with Wang Lin's speed, it only took half an incense stick of time before the call got even more clear. It was less than 100,000 feet away. Although the world here was sealed, Wang Lin could see that this place was a tall mountain surrounded by ice. After crossing the mountain, Wang Lin could see a large pool behind the mountain. This pool was like a lake, but it was also sealed. A faint sense of celestial energy surrounded the pool. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he carefully moved forward. A moment later, he arrived above the pool and looked down. His pupils immediately shrank. Although the pool was frozen, it was translucent. If one looked carefully from above, they would see something inside the pool. It was a giant arm, a left arm. Yimo's left arm. Wang Lin took a deep breath and his eyes shined brightly. When he came here before, he had a guess. He originally thought it was Yimo's left eye, but he didn't expect it to be the left arm. After I fused with Yimo's right arm, the heaven-ripping spell could rip apart third-step cultivators. If I fuse with the left arm and use the heaven-ripping spell, its power, when Wang Lin thought of this, his heart started pounding. He stomped his right foot in an attempt to enter the ice, but a rebound force came from the pool. His body trembled and he wasn't able to enter the ice. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he stared at the ice below. This place was very strange and different from the other ice here. Dongling Pool. This place should be the Dongling Pool. I just don't know what's so mysterious about it for the seven-colored celestial sovereign to recreate it. Wang Lin carefully looked at it but found nothing. The frozen pool looked very ordinary. He knelt down and placed his right hand on the ice. He gently pressed down and cracking sounds echoed. Cracks appeared as the frozen pool shook. However, just as the cracks appeared, cold energy came out and the ice returned to normal. Wang Lin waved his sleeve and blood light shined as the blood sword appeared. With a bang, the blood sword flew toward the ice. A depression appeared in the ice and countless cracks spread, but they all recovered in an instant. Wang Lin sat on the ice pool and his gaze penetrated the ice, landing on Yimo's left arm. He gradually saw through some clues. This pool of ice has fused with Yimo's left arm, so the ice has Yimo's recovery ability. Even if it's destroyed, it will recover instantly. Wang Lin didn't think this in his head but muttered it as if he was talking to himself or someone else. Xian Luo had his hands behind his back and was floating above the pool. He was also looking at the ice, and when he heard Wang Lin's words, he smiled, revealing a strange light in his eyes. It couldn't be entered and couldn't be broken. Wang Lin frowned as he let out a cold snort and his 5 fingers formed a claw. This ancient Dao power gathered in his 5 fingers and the 5 fingers gave off a ghostly light along with dense ancient Dao aura. Immortal ancient Dao. Wang Lin let out a roar and countless overlapping shadows appeared over his right hand. Thousands of shadows seemed to appear, and the moment they all overlapped to form one, Wang Lin's right hand reached toward the ice. Thunderous rumbles echoed across the world. As Wang Lin's hand grabbed the ice, the countless shadows that had disappeared suddenly reappeared. This claw was like Wang Lin striking countless times. With the immortal ancient Dao, Wang Lin attacked the recovering ice. Wang Lin let out a roar as his fingers clawed into the ice and pulled out a palm-sized piece of ice. Holding the ice, Wang Lin carefully looked at it and burned it with his fire essence, but he couldn't melt it at all. His eyes narrowed and he felt that there was a strange force inside this ice. Wang Lin found this force similar to an essence. But there was a difference. It was as if this place wasn't sealed by ice, and if he soaked inside the pool, his essences would benefit greatly. However, not only was this power weak, but it also faded in and out. Wang Lin pondered for a bit and his eyes revealed enlightenment. This place had been created by the 7-colored celestial sovereign from his memories and nourished by his own life force. This Dongling pool likely existed on the immortal astral continent, and its effect was likely nourishing essences. The 7-colored celestial sovereign's cultivation was limited, so he could only emulate the aura but not the effect. Wang Lin pondered for a while and put the ice into his storage space. It was very strange and didn't melt inside his storage space. Instead, it gave off a chilly aura. Staring at the ice, Wang Lin took a deep breath and raised his right hand. As the immortal ancient Dao filled his hand, he clawed at the ice once more. Thunderous rumbles echoed as time passed. Using this dumb method, Wang Lin took several hours to create a tunnel into the ice. In half an incense stick of time, the last rumble echoed. Wang Lin clawed out a piece of ice and exposed Yimo's left arm. Only a palm-sized patch of skin was exposed. It was grey but gave off powerful ancient Dao aura that entered Wang Lin's mind. Wang Lin took a deep breath and sat down. His left hand pressed against the exposed skin. The moment his left hand pressed down, Yimo's left arm gave off a ghostly light that penetrated the ice. This gave the ice a strange sense of beauty. This light continued to spread out in all directions. It ended up shrouding the surrounding 10,000 kilometers before dissipating. Time slowly passed. Wang Lin spread out part of his divine sense to check his surrounding as he slowly absorbed Yimo's left arm. With his experience from absorbing the right arm, Wang Lin was familiar with the process. After 3 days, Yimo's left arm slowly shrank. As it shrank, the ghostly light that had spread out over 10,000 kilometers shrank. When all the ghostly light returned, Yimo's left arm turned into a strand of smoke and entered Wang Lin's left arm. A sting of pain came from Wang Lin's left arm. He felt like something was drilling into his heart. Cold sweat broke from Wang Lin's forehead, but his expression remained unchanged. He slowly raised his right hand and looked at the gas that was drilling into his left arm. The gas seemed to have no end and continued to enter Wang Lin's left arm. Wang Lin's left arm gradually became rough, and complicated runes flickered on it. It wasn't until one instant stick of time passed that the last strand of gas entered Wang Lin's left arm. That feeling of being able to tear open the world that he felt when he obtained the right arm emerged in Wang Lin's heart. He slowly moved his 5 fingers on his left hand and cracking sounds echoed. After a long time, Wang Lin formed a fist and walked forward. He appeared at the center of the ice pool. Wang Lin raised both his hands and felt a powerful strength fill his body. After absorbing Yemo's left arm, a shocking change occurred to the 3 ancient clan stars between his eyebrows and in his eyes. This change was the sign of the 9th star appearing. A vague vortex had appeared. Wang Lin closed his eyes and felt the ancient Tao power and the powerful force in his body. A moment later, Wang Lin suddenly opened his eyes and looked at the ice pool below. His eyes revealed a golden glow as his hands reached toward the ice pool and mercilessly ripped it. Heaven ripping. Wang Lin let out a roar and both his hands clawed at the void. His hands spread to both sides and the world rumbled. A giant crack appeared in the frozen pool. The moment this crack appeared, a heaven-shattering sound echoed. Layers of ice collapsed and ice exploded everywhere. The entire pool disintegrated. The earth trembled, and after the pool collapsed, a giant crack appeared. Thunderous rumbles rang out as the crack moved like an earth dragon and spread. An even more intense rumble echoed as the earth collapsed and the earth dragon extended deeper into the ground. In the core of the cave, the furnace surrounded by black gas was covered in faces. Anyone that entered would have their face appear on the furnace. However, at this moment, most of the faces had disappeared completely. Even the 7-colored Daoist's face had disappeared completely. On the front and back, the faces of Wang Lin and Old Ghost John were extremely clear and surrounded by the black gas. At this moment, in the space the second flower was in, a crack appeared on the frozen flower's root. This crack continued to expand until it penetrated the flower. The heaven-ripping spell had ripped this world open. Wang Lin looked at the frozen world and stepped forward without hesitation. He disappeared into the earth. The 7-colored Daoist no longer needs to be feared. Now I need to deal with Old Ghost John. He is cautious and suspicious, so it will be difficult to deal with him. Wang Lin appeared in the space the third flower was located. This place was completely grey and had no trace of life. This place was completely dead, even the third flower before Wang Lin seemed to be lacking water and had withered. The leaves were dry and the petals broken, it was dead. Staring at the third flower, Wang Lin knew he didn't need to enter. The third flower had been destroyed many years ago. After staring at the flower for a long time, his eyes lit up. In the end, he gave up setting up another ambush. That kind of ambush could only be used once. If he tried a second time, Old Ghost John wouldn't fall for it. With a sigh, Wang Lin stepped forward and disappeared before the dead flower. He went toward the space the fourth flower was in. When Wang Lin appeared in the space the fourth flower was in, he saw a black flower behind him. Black liquid was dripping from the flower, and after countless years, the liquid had formed a black ocean below the flower. This ocean was completely calm, without any wind or waves. Only the flower stuck out from the ocean. Staring at the black flower, Wang Lin smelled blood. This smell had been here for a long time, and when he smelled it, he felt a sense of decay. This smell of blood came from the dead ocean below him. After pondering a bit, Wang Lin knew time was of the essence. After hesitating for a bit, he stepped forward toward the black flower. Just as he was about to enter, Wang Lin stopped. He vaguely felt a roar coming from the flower. Wang Lin was familiar with this voice. Tuo Sen, Wang Lin was startled and his eyes became serious. He took a closer look at the black flower that covered most of the sky. His eyes lit up as he landed on a black petal and disappeared without a trace. Half an hour after Wang Lin entered the flower, everyone else arrived. When they saw the dead ocean below, their expressions became serious. However, they didn't hesitate much and all entered the world inside the fourth flower. The sky of this dim world was covered in endless fog. Below it was endless fog as well. The roars that came from inside the fog could make one's mind tremble. There were some platforms floating here, and they were of varying sizes. There were even dried-up bodies that looked like they had their flesh and blood drained until they were like skeletons. Wang Lin was standing on a platform. He looked around and revealed a bitter smile. He had to reveal a bitter smile. He knew this place. This was the ancient tomb that he got his ancient Dao inheritance from. I should have thought of this a long time ago. The seven-colored celestial sovereign created this place to bury Yi Mo. How could the seven-colored celestial sovereign have created this place for no reason? So it turns out to be the fourth flower. Wang Lin looked at this place with a complicated expression. He was very familiar with this place. No wonder I thought I heard Tu Sai's voice. Isn't Tu Sai inside the ancient tomb? Wang Lin pondered for a moment before walking to the end of the stone platform and looking down at the fog below. He remembered that there were several more layers below this fog. There was an extremely terrifying aura down there that had made him stop and leave. When he obtained Yi Mo's inheritance, he felt like there was a heart at the bottom layer. It was obviously Yi Mo's heart. Aside from Yi Mo's left eye, the only thing left is the heart. Wang Lin had obtained most of Yi Mo's inheritances. He knew that Yi Mo's body had already collapsed. Only his arms had been cut off and thus remained. If he could absorb Yi Mo's heart at the bottom, his inheritance would reach completion. Of course, this completion was missing the left eye. If he could absorb Yi Mo's heart, even without the left eye, it was likely that Wang Lin could form his ninth ancient god star. Even his ancient devil star might reach 9. As a result, Wang Lin would become a 9-star ancient god and his ancient Dao power would erupt. 9-star ancient god. If I were to expand my body completely, how big would I become? Wang Lin closed his eyes to muse the pros and cons. Xian Luo was on the opposite side of the stone platform. He looked at the fog below and let out a sigh. This is where that child Yi Mo died. A moment later, Wang Lin suddenly opened his eyes. They were filled with determination. Riches can be found in danger. Wang Lin had spent his life in dangerous situations in order to reach the cultivation level he was at today. Most of his power had been obtained through risking his life. So what if he risked it once more? In addition, due to the memories he had gotten from the third soul, Wang Lin had a guess on what the terrifying aura in the second-to-last layer was. Ancient tomb. Back then, I didn't dare to go to the next layer, but since I've returned, I can't give this opportunity up. Wang Lin made up his mind and stepped toward the fog outside the platform. He fell into the fog and dropped down. His head was pointed downward as charged into the depths like a fish. No one knew this place better than him. Wang Lin had obtained all the maps here back then, so he no longer needed to upgrade this platform. The map was in his mind, including the entrance to the next layer. If there was really one person whose understanding of this place was second to Wang Lin's, then it was the third concubine, who was still a virgin. At this moment, the third concubine was floating in the fog and looking around in confusion. After a long time, a complicated gaze appeared in her eyes. The fourth flower was this place. The third concubine had obtained most of the map to the first layer back then. It was also here that a ripple was set off in her calm mind. Here, she had met Wang Lin. In the end, she had been sent out of here with Wang Lin's help, so she hadn't been sealed here. She liked to be alone and was not good at communicating with others. When she was forced to become the seven-colored's concubine, she had only agreed for the sake of her sect. She didn't have many friends on the immortal astral continent. Even back in the Heavenly Gate sect, she would spend most of her time cultivating. Due to her personality, she always moved by herself among the concubines. It could be said that Wang Lin was the first person to help her in her life. This feeling she had never felt before caused her to feel confusion and complication. She didn't even know the reason. He has helped me once, so I need to repay him. I want to go home. I wonder if teacher is still there. And also my little sister. She is more talented than me, the third concubine silently pondered and became homesick. When Wang Lin entered the tomb, inside the palace where he had obtained the inheritance, the person that was To Sen or Tu Sai opened his eyes. This video will end here.